the types of video that have the biggest impact on revenue. The Selling 7 is going to help separate you from all those companies who think they just need an About Us video. They're going to help you create content that really speaks to the needs and worries and fears of your consumers and will create a dramatic impact in revenue. The 80% video. First of all, what is an 80% video? Where did that name even come from? If you were to go to any sales team anywhere in the world, and you were to ask them this one simple question, I bet you'd get the same answer 999 times out of 1,000, which is, out of all of the questions that you are asked on the first sales appointment, what percentage of those questions are the same every single time? The most common answer, 80% of the questions that I'm asked are the same every single time. So our question is, if we know what those questions are, why should we wait until the first sales appointment to answer them? So an 80% video is taking those most common 7 to 10 questions, addressing them all individually in videos, but also addressing them in one long video, which is the 80% video. And this video is sent at the beginning of the relationship before that first sales appointment. And if it's done right, it's going to lead to a shorter sales call and sales cycle. It's going to lead to more trust with that salesperson. And it's going to make sure that when they are on that call, they're spending less time educating and more time doing what they do best, which is selling and figuring out if that prospect is a good fit for them. Some of the most trafficked decision stage pieces of content on your website is your product and service pages. The reason I call them decision stage is when prospects find themselves on these pages, they're very close to making a decision. And there's one major thing that we as consumers are trying to figure out when we're on pages like this. Is this a good fit for me? Is it not a good fit for me? And for that reason, having a product service page video is very, very important. Generally speaking, there's about 6 elements of a great product service video. The first one being, what is it? What is the thing? What is the product? What is the service? Next is, who's it a good fit for? Who's it not a good fit for? It's very important in this stage of the video that you're fully honest, transparent, and really do help them understand if they are a good fit or not a good fit. Don't be afraid of scaring somebody away because they're not a good fit. Ultimately, it's a great thing. You don't want to waste your sales team's time if they're not a great fit for the product. And also, it's going to make you look better to the people who you are a great fit for. Next, we've got, when should I buy it? Is there a certain time or thing that I need to have in place that's going to make the timing perfect for me to buy this thing? Next is, why do I need it? What's it going to do for me that I can't do now? Or how is it going to solve that major problem or concern or fear that I have? Next is, how much does it cost? Obviously, this question is always going to come up. And we can't always specify exactly how much something will cost. We can always talk about the factors, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And lastly, we've got, how do I buy it? How do I buy this thing? Sometimes things are very easily explained, like you just need to add this to your cart and check out. Some things are, you need to go through this, consultative process before we can actually get you what you want. But at the end of the day, now that we've given them all this information about that product, about that service, we need to educate them on how they go about purchasing it. Now, given these 6 elements, you're going to have a really strong product service video, and every major product service page on your website should have some form of this video. I'd recommend starting with the highest trafficked or the most popular or the best products that you sell and work your way down from there. A landing page is any page on the website that has a form on it, anywhere where you're collecting prospect data of some sort. Now, the problem is with many landing pages is that for many of us, when we get to pages, especially ones that are asking for sensitive information, like our email address or our phone number, we start to have this emotion that bubbles up inside. You know what I'm talking about. The fear, the worry, the concern. What's going to happen when I give this information? Now, that doesn't come from nowhere because we've all had the experience where we've been spammed before, where we gave our contact information out and it was misused. And ultimately, we want to avoid that. So again, our task is very, very simple. All we need to do is ease those concerns. And the best way to ease that concern is to address it before it becomes one. All you have to talk about is what's going to happen when somebody fills out that form. And by doing so, you're going to ease the concerns that they have. How often have your prospects seen and heard from your team before they shake their hands? What would happen if they did, especially in a sales scenario? What would happen if that prospect already had seen the face of the person they're working with, heard their voice, and had the opportunity to build a relationship with them? For many companies, there is no touch point before that first initial sales appointment. And here's the problem with that. I'll paint a very vivid picture that we've all been in before. We go to a hardware store or electronics store, and somebody in that bright polo walks up to us and they say, "Hey, can I help you with anything?" What's our first reaction to that? If you're anything like me, it's, "No, I'm fine. I'm just browsing. I'll come find you if I need anything." And the funny thing is, we all react this way. And why? Because we've all been in a situation where we felt pressured, especially in a sales situation or buying situation. We feel pressured. We don't want to be influenced in any way. And so we automatically put this guard up between us and the person we're working with. And our task, especially those of us who work in sales, is to build as much trust in the front end of the relationship as possible. If we can do that before they even meet us, that is a home run. A great bio video is going to include all the things that a prospect or customer should know about that person before they meet them. Things like the philosophy that they bring to their work. What are the major problems that they help their customers with? What are great case studies or stories that they have about what they've done in the past with customers? These are things that allow that prospect to see, hear, and therefore know that team member before they work with them. These are a great fit for email signatures, a great fit for meet the team pages, they're a great fit for transitions between team members, but ultimately at the end of the day, having this video in your arsenal is going to be one more tool to help prospects see, hear, and know you before you see, hear, and know them. How many claims are you making on your website right now? Better yet, how many claims are being thrown around in your industry right now? In almost every industry we've worked in, there's always major claims that are being made. Claims like, we've got the best people, or we've got the best customer service, we've got the most innovative product in the market. But the problem becomes when many companies in an industry are fighting over the same claim, it doesn't mean much to the buyer. In fact, it just becomes noise. And because so many people are saying it on their website and not showing it, it can't really be proven to that buyer. Now, the Claims We Make video will help you to show those major claims that you might be making right now on your website today. We're all pretty obsessed with reviews nowadays, right? We all look for reviews when we're buying just about anything, any product or service. And we're oftentimes looking for great customer testimonials. Even if you're on Amazon, you're looking for a great product review or a customer testimonial done by somebody who's actually bought the thing. We prefer to hear from other buyers. But if we had the opportunity to pick, would we rather hear a bunch of nice things from a customer through a testimonial, or would we like to see and therefore experience their journey of attaining that product or service or solution? Many people would prefer the latter. And here's why. The customer journey is something that we can identify with. We can see ourselves in that story and sometimes go, yeah, you know what? That's exactly what I'm experiencing. That's exactly how I'm feeling. And therefore, we can relate to it and identify with that experience. Ultimately, the goal is this. It's that you tell the story well enough that somebody else could experience it in the same way that that person did. So find your happiest of customers, figure out what their journey was really like. What is the story that we could tell here? And see if they'd be willing to have you interview them and therefore tell that story. We all know that this question is going to come up in the sales process. Cost. How much does it cost to work with you? What does the solution cost? All of these cost-related questions that we've got to answer. And this is our opportunity to do so with such honesty and transparency and education, and ultimately earn more revenue and win more trust. Now, if you've seen the Getting Started with They Ask You Answer course with Marcus, he talked about why most businesses aren't willing to talk about cost and price on their website. They're afraid of the competition figuring out what they charge. They're afraid they might be too expensive and scare customers away. Or the ultimate fear, which is that, well, we can't talk about it because it's always different. Now, all three of those reasons, he talks about why it doesn't make any sense. And it's no different with video content. But we also have the opportunity to use great video content to educate our prospects on the factors of cost in different ways. At the end of the day, with a great cost video, you want to have something that is very valuable to use in the sales process. And it's going to educate prospects on the factors of cost. Now, I'm not saying you need to make a video that's all about your pricing model and exactly how much it costs to work with you. What we've got to get good at is talking about those factors, educating the marketplace on cost, and being the true subject matter experts when it comes to cost within our industries.